Let's call to order the March 26, 2020 meeting of the Oklahoma City Airport Trust. Our first item of business is to approve the minutes from the February 27, 2020 Oklahoma City Airport Trust meeting. Is there a motion and a second? Any comments or questions? Please cast your votes. And it is so ordered. Director's report.
Chairman, would you please flip the switch for roll call?
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, and good morning, everyone. Just a few comments on the airport activity for the last 2 or 3 weeks since we've been underway with the impacts to Will Rogers World Airport, primarily because of the response to the coronavirus COVID-19. Most airlines have been canceling flights on a day-to-day basis. However, it's so fluid that they really haven't been revising any of their monthly schedules to this point. I think what's important now is that just the schedules, flight schedules are evolving. So if anyone is planning to travel, they should really stay in close communication with their airline to make sure that their planned flight is in fact happening until this is over with. At this time, what good news is there's no air service markets that have been eliminated from Oklahoma City, so we still have all of the cities that we provide service to. However, many flights, because of the reduction in passengers, are going out actually with less than 20 passengers right now. With our food and beverage operations, we're now limited down to 3 operations that provide carry-out, and some of those hours have been reduced significantly due to manning. Our retail operations are limited to 4 locations for the same reason. Our parking facilities are almost empty. We have closed canopy lot number 3, and that's to help with limited staffing with our public parking operator. Also, the rental car buses, we used to have a normal bump and run from the rental car center to the terminal building, and that headway or that distance of travel, the buses are now waiting 10 minutes before they go between the 2 facilities. And we do have some volunteer services which have been suspended. Traveler's Aid, our Halo Therapy dog teams, and the Military Welcome Center have all suspended operations. However, the YMCA Military Welcome Center does come in and assist with troops that are arriving that are going to Fort Sill. Our Jet Sets music program has also been suspended. Of course, we've suspended all tours, public meetings, etc. A couple of critical operations, TSA and Terrace Global, which runs our baggage handling system, they have gone to rotating shifts. Basically, that means they have one work group that works for 7 to 14 days, and the other is home, and then they trade off, and that's all to have a minimum impact on staffing and the operation if someone were to become ill. And American Airlines and Southwest have suspended their curbside service. As far as what the airport's doing, we're still working daily with janitorial to ensure that we have diligent cleaning and we're disinfecting touch points in all the heavily trafficked areas, and we've installed CDC signage in all the restrooms to remind passengers and employees how they can help prevent the spread of COVID-19. We're constantly communicating and outreach with our stakeholders, providing updates and tips, and we're staying closely connected with all of our partners, such as Oklahoma City County Health Department, Oklahoma City Emergency Management, and so forth regarding the spread of the virus. Those are my comments, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, sir. Do we vote on this? No. So moving right along then to Will Rogers World Airport.
Thank you. Request approval for item A, which is approve amendment number 1 to our contract with Johnson Associates Incorporated for the Aircraft Lavatory Waste Disposal Facility. It's a project increase in the design of $68,710. Item B is approve an amendment number 2 to our contract with ADG. This is for the elevator replacement for multiple buildings at Mike Monroney Aeronautical Center, an increase of $432,430.50. Item C is approving amendment number 4 to the contract with Crossland Heavy Contractors for the Terminal Access Roadway Project, Phase 1, increase of $95,068.50 in 5 calendar days. Item D is approving amendment 5 to our contract with ADG for the upcoming terminal building upper level deck structural repairs project, an increase of $298,071.56. E is approving amendment number 6 to the contract with Frankfurt Short Bruza Associates for the terminal expansion project. This is a decrease of $180,595.14. F is approving change order 2 to the contract with Libra Electric for the Hangar 8 and 9 electrical upgrades project at Mike Monroney Aeronautical Center. It's an increase of $3,202.34 and adding 30 calendar days. Item G is approved change order 12 to the contract with Timberlake Construction Company for the terminal renovation and expansion phase 3 project, increase of $174,038.25. Item H, approved plans and project manuals submitted by ADG. This is for the terminal building and upper level deck structural repairs 3B project. Authorized advertisement for bids to be open on April 29th. Item I is approving the request for bids for the inspection, maintenance, and repair of our passenger boarding bridges, and we're authorizing advertisement for bids to be open April 29th. J is adopting the resolution ratifying the approval of addendas 1 through 8 for the RFP that we went out for the airport food service and retail concession program, and we're authorizing negotiations of concession agreements with HMS Host Corporation for package number 1 and Parodies Lagardère for package number 2. Item K is adopt the resolution approving new operational procedures or revised operational procedures for vehicles for hire at Will Rogers World Airport, and L is adopting the resolution for operational procedures for courtesy vehicles. Item M is to adopt the resolution authorizing repair services to the medium voltage distribution system at Mike Monroney Aeronautical Center. We're utilizing our annual electrical and street lighting contract. And this is an estimated amount of $80,985.94. And last, under Will Rogers, item N is to adopt a resolution authorizing environmental abatement services for building materials at Mike Monroney Aeronautical Center Hangar 8 facility. This is on a city contract with Intercon. Estimated amount is $202,055.30. Request approval, please.
You've heard the request for approval. What is it? We have a motion to approve. Second. Any comments or questions? Discuss your votes. And it is so done. Can I turn it off now? Moving right along to Wiley Post.
Only one item this morning for Wiley Post. It's item A to ratify the action of the director approving change order number 2 to the contract with Hunter Mechanical and Controls Incorporated. This is for the mechanical and plumbing systems replacement project where we're working both in the terminal building and the FAA building. It's an increase of $27,478.51. Request approval.
You've heard a request for approval.
Move the item.
We have a motion to approve.
Second.
And second, any comments or questions? Seeing none, please cast your vote. And is approved.
Under General, asking to receive the reports, delinquent accounts receivable report, construction project status report, and the actual report. Item B is approving amendment number 1 to the contract with Diversified Construction of Oklahoma for the miscellaneous services, repairs, and maintenance contract. This is for their first renewal for 1 year or not to exceed $300,000. Item C is approving the professional real estate broker services agreement and amendment number 1 with CBRE Incorporated. Item D is approving the professional real estate broker services agreement and amendment number 1 with Price Edwards and Company. Of course, these are for all 3 airports. Item E is adopt a resolution declaring the emergency for Will Rogers World Airport, Wiley Post, and Clarence C. Page Airport, and delegating certain temporary authority to the director. And those are the items under General, sir.
You've heard the items under General. We have a motion to approve. And a second. Any comments or questions? Seeing none, please cast your votes. And is approved. Next up, lease and other agreements.
Item A is to approve the consent and coexistence agreement between the Airport Trust and Jet Set Media, LLC for Will Rogers World Airport. Item B is approving the airport taxi cab and shuttle concession services agreement between the Airport Trust and Airport Express. That begins on April the 1st. Item C is approve the lease agreement between the Airport Trust and Gary Lake for an individual aircraft hangar site for the storage of his privately owned aircraft for a 5-year period at Clarence E. Page Airport. Item D, approving the lease agreement between the Airport Trust and Edsel Ford Jr. for an aircraft site for a storage of a privately owned aircraft for a 5-year period at Page Airport. And last item E is to approve the assignment and assumption agreement assigning the lease between the Airport Trust and Tuscany Aviation LLC for a lot at Clarence E. Page Airport for the hangar site for privately owned aircraft storage to Don and Gail Laughlin at Clarence E. Page Airport. Those are all the leases and other agreements this morning, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, sir. You've heard the items under lease and other agreements. We have a motion to approve. And a second. Any comments or questions? Seeing none, please cast your votes. And it is approved. Next up, Roman numeral 8, sir.
And request approval for the requisitions, please.
You've heard a request for requisitions to be approved. Motion and a second. Any comments or questions? Seeing none, please cast your votes. And it is so done. Next up, comments from trustees. Seeing none, moving right along. Comments from staff. Again, seeing none. Citizens to be heard, and not seeing any. Francis, anybody sign up?
No, sir.
That being said, we are adjourned.